One tip by my side is just think that you are talking in front of your.
What are the mistakes other than these three that people are doing right now on LinkedIn?
In this month, I got 3 job offers.
If someone have to write a book on you, what should be the title of that book, and how would you like the story to be, like the behind the scene of that book?
I'll call it unfinished yet. One more complicated business strategy, a dating analogy.
Someone is going to listen this podcast throughout, no, they will understand the concept of LinkedIn mostly. Introducing someone who come from hometown and doing such a great job is so much, like, it makes me feel proud, because you know what what people think when we say Bihari, right? So
I do.
so that's why I'm super proud that I am introducing a Bihari on my guest. And I would love to know you. So first of all, I would love that you should introduce yourself so that people know what you do and how you help, especially founders.
I'm Pratyaksha Singh and I am a LinkedIn personal branding expert. So we help mostly the founders and the solopreneurs to help scale their LinkedIn presence plus their own brand through LinkedIn posting and all such stuff. So yeah, we do this.
So when I was doing research on your profile, I get to know that you were preparing for JEE exams, right? And then suddenly you started posting on LinkedIn. So what was your parents' reaction for that? Like, beti engineer banegi to LinkedIn strategist hai, that is a very different thing. So how they connected with it? Do they know what you do or something?
So currently they are kind of very proud that I am doing both the things. Like I am currently pursuing BTech and I'm in my final year electronics and communication engineering from Jabalpur Engineering College. So yeah, they are actually very proud that I am handling both the things. So the story behind that, how I get into this LinkedIn platform. So this is something which is very weird. So what happened, like I was simply like another student preparing for JEE. I remember while I was in my drop year, so I saw a classmate of mine put a story, Insta story, where he crossed his first 1K followers. Right. So I was amazed and asked out of curiosity that what's this platform all about and how it's working. So I was like at that time that he wasn't much interested to tell me anything about this platform. So I was like that, let's start discovering more about this platform. I simply Google LinkedIn and I try to find several more creators at what they are exactly doing here on this platform. Okay, and then what I find it what actually I find that I used to write poetries. Like since back in my class 11th and 12th, I used to write poetries. So I don't, I was never into writing much. But yeah, this poetry thing, I really love doing this. I really didn't know anything about what is personal branding and blah blah. So I used to write basically full of life stories, healing, stress, anxiety. And you know what? I got a response from my audience. And that's how it all started. Like I remember that was December 2021. That was the time I remember.
Okay.
And this is my second account.
Okay, so you were posting from different account as well, right?
So this is my second account because I have to delete that first account just because I was a bit occupied due to this counseling procedures and all JEE counseling procedures. So I was like that, ठीक है, अब बंद करते हैं and पढ़ाई पे ध्यान देते हैं. But I never knew कि अब फिर से आना पड़ेगा. Return back भी यहीं आना है.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can totally understand, because I started LinkedIn like 3 months back only. Okay. Before that, I think क्योंकि मैं marketing में हूँ, a lot of people ask me that you should start posting on LinkedIn. From last 4 years, people are just pushing me to do these things. But I was like, okay, I will do it. No one gonna follow me. Who will see my content? So I can totally understand that. So that was something. But yeah, I started. I'm so glad that I started. Okay, so second thing that catch my eye on your profile is, you don't believe fake it till you make it, right? This is a concept that most of the people are believing in, but especially on social media, and when we are talking about LinkedIn or something, there are also people are mostly about faking it than making it. So in this particular world, how
Making it.
Yeah. So my question is, in this particular word, why you feel like you don't have to fake it till make it?
So, like since childhood, I was like that honesty is the best policy. And yeah, this is true. Maybe this is a question whose answers will automatically differ from person to person, like how they are as a person in life. But for me, I always have an experience of growing at pace when I honestly put my own stories without any icing. Simple, raw, my story. I
Right.
still believe this now too. Even if I'm going to purchase an iPhone from my father's money, I will simply say that this phone is gifted by my papa. So I believe in showing our real selves more rather than the filtered ones. Filters are already there in photographs, right?
For sure, yeah. But I think it's really glad that in this era you are believing in this type of concept, because most of the people, and here I can say like 80% of the people are just making stories out of anywhere. They're just copying any other person so that they can go, like they can find the reach, they can find the likes and comment as well. Okay, let's get back to your LinkedIn story. So you said you have already deleted one account. Okay. When you started your LinkedIn again, what was the most biggest failure look like that made you feel like, okay, I have to delete it again and I have to disappear from this social media?
Yeah, so at that time, as I said earlier, that I don't have any kind of work experience at that point of time. So yeah, I remember that I wasn't able to quote the right price while I was about to begin everything of my own, like pitching and all, every single thing. So I was like that I don't know how to quote the right price right now. So yes, it happens due to underconfidence, and I burned out very badly as I couldn't hire people in that charge, which was like, taken by me. So I was like, now let's quit. I was not able to do that particular thing at that time. So yeah, that made me, quit. So yeah.
Feel like that I should just disappear. It happens, especially in the first phase. It happens like you look like, okay, I don't think this will work or something. Okay, so you are also a content writer, right? You write content for TEDx, you write content for LinkedIn as well. So they are very two different concepts. Keeping a whole auditorium of audience booked for 15 to 20 minutes, then making someone stop scrolling on your post like everywhere. So how do you make sure that the voice changes whenever you're writing content? What are your processes?
So actually, the TEDx thing, that there is a club in my college. So that club has organized this TEDx event. So I was a part of that TEDx event. So yeah, I can tell you कि क्या differences आते हैं mostly. So back in my college second year, तो क्या हुआ कि to be honest, there are like two different tones, like two different styles for LinkedIn and for the TEDx. So if you know this difference, well, it would turn very easy for you to grab attention from your audience side. So like whenever you read an article or a newspaper, the tone is actually very different from the post you're writing here on LinkedIn, right? So also while writing for TEDx, I remember we highlight the important points of TEDx speaker and deliver it to the TV channels from where they publish it into the newspaper. However, the tone and style is a crucial part. But there's a slight difference that the audience who are reading the newspaper already have a good audience base, while the ones who are writing posts like us, okay, we should have to blend creativity into it because people on social media crave for creativity, best hooks. So then so again, we can say that LinkedIn part is a bit harder for me because like pushing content for the TEDx, we have to just deliver it to the TV channels and they already have a good audience base, so we have to write very formal. And but right now here on LinkedIn we have to write like a friend, like we are talking to a friend, we have to write post like this manner. So yeah, there's a slight difference also, but I can say that this LinkedIn part is a bit more harder. Like for me, it's my personal experience.
I can understand. I have gone through most of your posts and you write incredibly good content. Really, you have made like most of your content is like a story, and I love that. So, yeah, you are a good content writer.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I can say for sure because I have gone through your post because this is the process. No, you have to go through the guest whole things that is available online. And I was quite interested in your post that okay, he is doing a lot of things and that is very good. So, talking about the content only, I have another question in my mind. So, whenever I am scrolling through LinkedIn, no, most of the people are talking about same thing. In a day, you can see 10 tips to increase your LinkedIn reach. You can see like 1,000 posts, literally 1,000 posts. So, whenever you are creating content, how you make sure that okay, this is something people will stop and read it because this is although the topic would be same but the content I am giving is bit different and something that can make impact.
So yeah, like you are saying that yeah, same recycle tips you are asking, right? So people here will tell you like, you know, the typical LinkedIn post I read that people here will tell you, you know, pick a niche and start writing. And to be very honest, this is true. But you know, like every single LinkedIn post, every second LinkedIn post is about this. Pick a niche and you know start writing like this. So what I am doing, like, but what I think that you shouldn't run behind, you know, money to pick a niche. Like people here are, you know, for earning. So they are like that pick a niche and start writing on this topic, and they are the most trending ones. So what I am telling you is that keep on writing what you went through. If you don't know any single thing, like you are just starting, like as I said earlier, that while I was here on this platform, so I used to write about life stories, healing lessons. Why? Because that's all I went through. So it was like very easy for me to, you know, put into the words and, you know, connect with the audience. So that was a very simple and easy thing. So what I'm saying is keep on writing what you went through first. Like if you really don't know any single thing, that how to start writing on LinkedIn, start with here. This is my simple, raw, genuine advice to each one of you who is like currently struggling. And to be very honest, there's an audience there too. If you turn into a good storyteller, you will automatically turn good into content creation, and that too helps you monetize your services. So don't be in a hurry picking one most trending niche. Instead, practice and check if you really wanted to do that in the rest part of your life. That's a very simple thing.
Yeah, very great advice. Actually, I also believe that you have to, like, base will be the same for everyone, but you have to put your personalized concept in it. And second thing, you don't have to hurry. If you are in hurry that, okay, today I'm gonna post, next day I will have 1 million follower, this is not gonna work for sure. So I totally understand what you are saying, and I can say that this is one of the greatest advice people can have, especially through my podcast. So, you believe in keeping things very simple. Saying it that I believe in keeping things very simple is very easy, but maintaining something simple is very, very exhausting. I can understand that. So, how you maintain that simple thing? Like, even from your post, I can see that the things you write is very hooked up. It has a hook, but it's very simple to understand as well. So, what is your concept for the fellow creators that how they can make their content very simple to understand rather than putting a lot of industry trends, a lot of industry words, technical words into it?
Whenever I'm into LinkedIn, I study different content. The ones who are trying hard to grow here put the same content into complex tones. They are actually trying very hard, but they are unable to grow here. So one tip by my side is just think that you are talking in front of your bestie. Like as I said earlier, like, you know, write like you talk. Okay. The posts which feel like conversing or do the talking are easy to understand. Simple turned easy for you then. Like, yes, and okay, so one more complicated business strategy, like for me is like a dating analogy, okay? So, like, for example, I remember there was a time I have to understand, I have to, you know, explain a lead nurturing thing to my bestie. So, how I told her is like, you don't propose on the first coffee, you build trust, share stories, show up consistently, and only then you ask the big question, right? So at that point of time, she laughed but got it instantly. And to be very honest, this is the best way ever to, you know, explain the, you know, the tough jargon things into easy words. in my early creator days, I thought consistency means posting every single day, even if I had nothing valuable to say. So one day I simply posted a two-liner post, like a cringe one, maybe a motivational type, just to show up. That was literally an embarrassing moment for me, and that's when it hit me that you don't have to post daily. This is also the second most foremost important tip by my side, that building slow isn't about flooding the feed. It's about learning what actually connects. Now I would rather post once or twice a week with proper content plan and with clarity, as you can see in my profile also, rather than every day with noise. So that's the simple thing what I am actually doing right now.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very great advice. So one is you don't have to hurry. Second is if you are being consistent, you have to make sure your content is something that people will read. No matter if you are posting once or twice a week or daily, you have to post some content that is engaging enough for your audience. You have to make sure that your audience is engaging with it. So these are the different tips. Okay, just answer one more question about LinkedIn. That is, what are the mistakes other than these three that people are doing right now on LinkedIn? Because they are expecting a lot that their next post will be blowing out. So what is your tip on mistakes that people should not be doing it?
See, the first mistake, as I had said earlier, that the most important thing is that don't think that you have to post daily. This is the biggest mistake people are doing, that they are trying to push content each and every single day. And you know what actually happens? The quality of their content is degrading continuously. No creativity, nothing. You use a prompt, and everyone here can easily detect that you are using a chat GPT prompt, and writing a post with the same tone, with the same style. So at deep down, like, we as a creator, we know every single thing, that you are using a prompt, and you are trying to push content each and every day, and you say you are in a consistency. No, you are not. Actually, you are not. First of all, start investing time on yourself, upskill yourself, because that's what I'm telling you. People here on LinkedIn, so many people here on LinkedIn are scrolling LinkedIn day and night, and that won't make you a productive person. Even if LinkedIn is a productive platform, scrolling will not make you a productive person. You have to invest time on yourself, switching off your phones and every single thing, digital detox, and start upskilling yourself, because that's where most of the people are doing wrong. Several new freelancers used to text me that, Pratyaksha, please help me out. I want to get good clients and all. So I was like that, tell me, the skills you already have. And they are like, I'm currently into this services. But when I, figure out the content, like what they had written, they are saying, they are actually complaining to me that, we are posting daily, but still, we don't get any inbound lead. So to be very honest, in this month, I got 3 job offers. 3 job offers, one from United States, 2 from India itself, from Pune, remote work, and it was like about leading a social media team, something like that. So I have my college, so I can't, join. So this is the thing what I'm telling you, that don't try to push content each and every day. Instead, network with the right people. Limit yourself, that I'm going to do 5 DMs or 10 DMs a day, and do it consistently. People are here are burning out very easily. They are posting for a month, rigorously posting, but then there's a silence in their profile. So don't do this. Instead, take some time, devote, I guess I would say, devote 1 hour to LinkedIn, and that's it. That's enough, I guess. You have several more things to do, right? So don't be 24/7 active here on LinkedIn and texting people. This is also kind of spamming kind of thing. So don't do this.
Yeah, being obsessed with something is not at all good, no matter what it is. Also, I have also seen people with like 25, 30K followers, and they have a lot of likes and comment on their post as well. Still, they are not getting leads. They are literally just begging for lead, because their content make no sense. People are just, because you have that much of follower, 100 like, 25 comment is not something that you can't get. But it's all about getting that lead. It's all about why you are here, and that are you getting your goal or not? Are you getting closer to your goal or not? So this is the concept people should understand. Okay, so I think mostly we talked about LinkedIn here, so let's wrap it up. I have 2 3 questions for you only. First question, because I loved the way you answered every question. That was very raw, very productive, very, full of tips. I think this podcast, if someone is going to listen this podcast throughout, no, they will understand the concept of LinkedIn mostly. So, my first question for you is, that is what I ask to every guest. What do you mean by being a creator? How do you see what, like, creator is something people connect with, like, comment, share in their profile. So how do you see as yourself as a creator?
To be very honest, I'm not feeling that like that I'm a big creator here. I just feel like that I'm a person, I'm a mentor to them. I feel like that way, and I see myself like this way, that wherever I go now, there's kind of aura inside me that shares a kind of positivity and radiate that kind of positive aura around myself. So I am like that person, everywhere, like in social media or anywhere. If you are into my DMs, if you are asking me that Prataksha, you are a you are a big content creator and blah blah, I will I'm a person who will feel very embarrassed. I'm like that, treat me like a human, and I will guide you like a mentor. I'm literally like this way. Like some people here call me Didi and all. I'm like, I never offend. I never offend myself that, okay, Didi bol rahi hai, something like that. No. I'm a kind of mentor to you, and my LinkedIn posts are here to guide you along. Of course, there's some post of mine, kind of, documenting my journey. So I love doing that part also. But what the way I'm seeing myself is a kind of a mentor to help you scale your digital presence here on LinkedIn. Also, I used to take discovery calls where I'm telling them that what should you do and what you should never do, like here. So that's the kind of thing I'm doing here, and it's all about mentorship. I am not, I even if I get some days, 50K or 100K followers, I am not going to assume myself that I am an expert in this field. No, I will always be like that kind of casual friend to you, and you can ask me, anything, any silly question, even I would love to answer it. That's the thing.
For sure. I remember one of your comment on my profile that I loved your eye makeup. I was like, okay, she's so sweet. So yeah, that is, yeah, I also believe being raw, being humble is something you should never forget. No matter what are the number of people or how many people are following you, no matter how much engagement you are getting on your profile. Okay, so let's wrap it this up with one very interesting question. If someone have to write a book on you, what should be the title of that book, and how would you like the story to be, like the behind the scene of that book?
So I'll call it unfinished yet unstoppable. Because honestly, a lot has happened in my life. Things that could have made me quit, slow down, or hide. But the thread through all this is that I just keep going. Like no matter what. Behind the scenes, like of course, like seeing my LinkedIn post and reading my LinkedIn post, it was like that everything is going perfectly fine in her life. But in my life, what I can tell you is that it isn't a perfect highlight reel. There's some messy parts, mistakes, doubts, days where nothing worked. But it would also show the resilience, the ability to stand up one more time than I fell. So, and that's the story I would want people to take away. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving. And in the end, you will find your light, and that's the core truth of life. And I personally felt this thing. So the name of the book would be Unfinished Yet Unstoppable.
First of all, the title you gave is awesome. It's literally awesome. And okay, so I have to say, basically, when you're talking to someone from hometown, no, you basically feel a connect, right? So that was something throughout. I love talking to you. Literally, the whole content, the whole talk we are doing here, no, it made me feel like I already know you. I already have like a lot of conversation with you. That is because this is something we are doing first time, but I feel so connected with you. Thank you so much for joining me on this podcast, and I look forward to have you on another episode as well. Because literally, Prataksha, I loved talking to you. I mean, the tips you are giving, you are very raw, and people, because most of the time people are like, if I'm giving so much of a tips and tricks, no one will go and read my post, and then how will I make my brand work, right? But I loved how raw you were, so I would love to have you on another episode as well. So thank you so much for joining me.
I'm waiting. I am waiting for the next, podcast invite. I'm waiting and I'm up for it. So yeah, yes. And being a Bihari, that, that connection, वो बहुत ही different होता. I can't tell you in words and you know this thing.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the best part.
So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day ahead.